every path we take is different. But it helps if you know the terrain.
I ran both cross country and track. That took up a lot of my time.
Mark Nessheim has been a man in motion from high school to middle age. Putting one foot in front of the other comes naturally at this point in his life, even when the unnatural creates a fork in the road.
I found out in 2015 that I had Parkinson's. My mother had Parkinson's at a young age. She was 46 and I was 44. I cried. I seen what it did to my mom. She had it for 26 years, and I recognized that what I may be going to go through.
Parkinson's is a progressive neurological condition that impacts a person's movements. There's no cure for the disease, but its symptoms can be managed. And one special place provides the perfect pain management.
So right now we're about 52 boxers. I have 6 classes. Most of them meet twice a week, a couple 3 times a week. My youngest boxer is Mark, he's in his 50s, and my oldest boxer is 94.
Push up into Cobra.
Lisa Howard is the director of Rocksteady Boxing, a program specifically designed for those diagnosed with Parkinson's.
We can modify down and we can progress people up. There's so many ways you can hit the speed bag, so how can we be creative? So maybe we'll add a cognition drill to it. So maybe let's box, count by 3s backwards, hitting the speed bag, or count by 7s, make it harder. It's been fun to try to stay ahead of the boxers.
You know, at first I think it was a little bit daunting because you feel like, well, do I want to see what everybody else is suffering with? Because that might be me, that might happen to me. But then you realize that everybody has different symptoms and advance, we move along differently.
Molly Laburco has been battling Parkinson's for more than a decade, and she's not shy in her feelings about it either, with the moniker to prove it.
Mad Molly. Not that I'm mad at people just because I'm kind of crazy when I box.
Mad Molly is very competitive, maybe growing up with 6 brothers, but she doesn't like to lose when we have team challenges.
All those frustrations about the disease advancing a little bit, moving along. You have a bad day at home, you can come and beat it out in the bag, it's great.
Fists of fury are always flying at Rocksteady, but the impacts go well beyond the physical.
The heavy hitting and the hitting the bag is creating more neurons and helping with that neuroplasticity in your brain. Then it all ties into what they're fighting against with Parkinson's.
60,
70.
I love the people. It's camaraderie. I always say you get a workout, but you're also in a focus group that's not a focus group, because everybody here is going through the same thing. And most of us, I think, love the exercise, and it helps throughout the day.
Just outside the gym is what Rocksteady calls its Wall of Champions, to honor those who never stopped punching.
It's always heartbreaking to lose one of our fighters, but we all know that if they hadn't had this program, maybe they would have gone a little sooner, and that we've made an impact.
There's so much more to it than just boxing. That's why you hit the bag harder sometimes.
How do you grapple with an enemy that's invisible? How do you measure success against an opponent that's undefeated? And how do you approach a battle where the competition is inside your very existence? For these boxers, it's easy.
I always say, if you stop fighting, you lose. My attitude is pretty high, good high. And I try to find the best in everything and if I can beat something, I'm going to beat it.
And there are days where you're going to be really frustrated because it does get worse, but you just have to keep fighting back.
They're so inspiring that I'm humbled to be able to work with them because they just lift me up with what they're going through.
Repeat after me! Repeat after me! Hope in our corner!
People like Mark and Molly, they found the key, that they got active right away, and that's important that people do that and know that it'll help them both physically and mentally and help them fight to the end.
And joined by David Brown. Brownie, it's been around Sioux Falls for what, 6 years maybe now, but who was the first person to come up with this to kind of put boxing together as a therapy for Parkinson's?
Yeah, so Rocksteady Boxing actually started back in 2006 in the city of Indianapolis, and it was a man named Scott Newman who actually was diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's. He was only in his 40s when he was diagnosed. Usually people in their late 50s or 60s are when they're initially diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but he started it in Indianapolis in 2006, and it's grown into a national program, chapters all over the country, and it's grown steadily for the last 15 plus years.
If you go into the Rocksteady gym in Sioux Falls, who do they have on the wall for inspiration?
Perhaps the most famous boxer and the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, who of course had Parkinson's disease toward the latter stages of his life. And obviously him being on the wall is certainly inspiration for everyone inside Rocksteady. And it's just a tremendous program that's really helping these people both mentally and physically.
Absolutely. Thanks, David.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.